So where we left off on Monday, I think I just shown how to make the different shapes. Remember, we were using this shape tool. So up at the top where it says fill, you can choose the color of shape that you want to make. So let's say I have this orangish color. You can choose the type of shape you want. So we have the rectangle, the rounded rectangle. This radius number will be how round your rectangle is. So if I have a radius of 7 and I make a rectangle, give me just a second. So you can see that, let me choose a color that you can see better on there. You can see that the corners have not very much roundness to them. If I change this radius, the higher the radius is, the more curved the corners are going to be. So even after you make your rectangle, you can change the radius of it. If you want to make a circle, there's the circle button. So you can either create a new shape or change one that already is on your picture. So you can see I have this circle. Once you've made a shape and you're changing it, you'll notice that it stays proportional. If you want to change like this oval to be a circle, you could hold Shift on your keyboard and it will let you change the proportions and not just the size. So if I want a short, wide oval, I have to hold Shift. If I'm not holding Shift, it stays that same shape and just gets larger or smaller. When I hold Shift, I can change the actual proportions of it. So I could make it tall and narrow. Again, if I don't hold Shift, it's just making it larger or smaller. If I hold Shift, that's when it's actually changing the proportions of my shape. Remember, over here on your layers panel is what is in front of other things. So if I want this circle that I've made to be behind the picture of the person, I need to take this layer that's shape 6 and bring it down below the layer of the person. So whatever is at the top is going to be what shows on top of everything else. So if, let's say, I bring this shape 3, that's the green rectangle, up to the top, you can see now it's on top of the person. It covers up seeing that person. So I need this to be way down towards the bottom. I can move it if I need to. If you want to select something specific on your picture, like let's say I'm trying to select this circle and I keep trying to click on it, but it's selecting the wrong layer. You can see it's still selecting the picture of the person. There's 2 different ways that you can try to select something specific. So I can either go in here and I can lock this layer of the person, and then it doesn't let me click on it. I can click on all these other layers around the person, and it's never going to select that layer with the person. I can unlock it again, and then it lets me select the layer with the person. The other way you can do this is up here in your tool settings, turn auto select layer off. That makes it so whichever layer I have over here selected, that automatically selects just that layer for me to adjust. So if I want to adjust this yellow oval, I could click pretty much anywhere on the page and it's just going to adjust that one layer. So again, that's up here in the tool settings. If auto select layer is on, then whatever you click on, the program is going to try to automatically jump to that layer to adjust. If auto select is off, then whichever layer you select over on the side, it's going to move that one. And usually when you open the program, this auto select layer is automatically on. If you want to add, let's say I want to drop shadow on this person. So I want to put a shadow around the edges or to the side. If you use the mask tool, you're going to want to make a copy of your picture. So we go up to the three-dot menu and extract the mask as a layer. And that's going to give me a second cutout version of my picture. Then I can turn the view box off for my first one. I can adjust the second one however I need to. So I'm going to put it back down where the other picture was. And now I'm going to put a filter on it. I'm going to choose, let's say, drop shadow. And then you can see this is putting a dark shadow behind. I can change pretty much everything about this shadow, so I can make it either more see-through or less see-through. I can change the color of it. So let's say maybe I want a yellow drop shadow. It will change that color to yellow. I can increase or decrease how blurry the shadow is. I can change where the shadow shows up. So the offset is going to move it from left to right on the x-axis and on the y-axis. And I can still change what color I want it to be. Let's say maybe I decided I don't want it to be yellow, I want it to be a dark gray color. I can do all those different adjustments. There's quite a few different filters you can do. So let's say instead of doing a drop shadow, maybe I want a glowing edge around the outside of it. I can go to outer glow, and it will bring up a similar thing. I can choose what color I want to glow. Let's say maybe I want it to be a light green that's glowing around the outside. I can change what size I want the glow to be. I can make it feather more or less. And I can make it more or less see-through. If you do one of these and you can see those weird little areas where it's trying to make glow, after you apply this, you can always go in and use the eraser tool or the mask tool, and you can erase the parts that you don't want there. So I can erase anything that wasn't the outer glow. Let's say maybe I decide I don't like the outer glow after all. Remember, you have your history panel over here. and you can go back up as many steps as the program has saved. It won't let you go all the way to the beginning of when you started working, but it will let you go quite a few steps backwards if you make a mistake or decide you want to go a different direction. Are there any questions on that so far? All right, I am going to mute myself. I'm going to continue working on this, but I think that's enough information about the shapes for you guys to try to remember today. I will continue working on this. You can either watch me working, or preferably you can start working on your own design.